Good evening, everyone, because it's evening here in Sweden. Warm welcome back. And if this is your first time joining this program, my name is Josefin. Tonight will be a chair-based yoga practice with one standing position if you choose to, focusing towards the concept of balance. And the yoga practices, the word yoga means to unite or to restore, but it can also translate to bringing us back into a sense of balance. So focusing towards the physical, emotional, and also the mental aspects of us as human beings. And the first invitation tonight is to find a seat where you feel like you're in stability, and perhaps that we're at a point where you feel, okay, I'm balanced here. I'm not feeling like I'm falling over to any side. And I invite you to connect both feet firmly towards the floor. And as a transition from everything we've done previous today and the week before, maybe we have spent a lot of time in our heads. I invite you to bring your awareness down into your feet, arriving in to this moment by noticing the connection between your feet and the floor. The texture from the floor towards your feet, maybe the socks on your feet. Can you create an equal sense of balance by connecting both feet equally? From that connection, when we're having this stability towards the floor, the earth, notice if you can perhaps sense the line that's going up towards your spine, so an upward going movement. So two ways of engaging the body. And in your own mind, bringing the elements from the week before, relaxing the muscles of the forehead, around your eyes, releasing the jaw, the shoulders, all of these areas that our sympathetic nervous system or activation system can create tension around, perhaps the belly, the connection between your hip and the chair, the sensations in your legs, back down towards your feet. Okay, and then perhaps rolling your shoulders a few times, releasing any tension you might have built up in the week. First one direction and then the other direction. Maybe shake your shoulders. Then I invite you to bring your arms up, if that's okay for your shoulders. And then bring your arms down. By lifting my arms, I'm following a more kind of energetic movement up, and this is engaging my sympathetic nervous system, which is our activation system. And then the arms are coming down, lowering the heartbeat, and that's going towards the parasympathetic nervous system, our rest, digest, and restore system. So sometimes we're getting stuck in one of these systems that becomes more dominant than the other. In the yoga, we have a sun salutation where we're following these kind of energy lines. So one is up towards the sun and one is moving down towards the earth. And the sun-like quality is symbolizing this more energetic side of us, and that goes well with the sympathetic nervous system. And the earth-like quality can provide a sense of stability, and it has this kind of soothing quality if you're looking into these texts. So the parasympathetic nervous system. So we're balancing this autonomic nervous system, as it's called, by moving and engaging both. So if you like, you can also add some breathing to this by inhaling, lifting the arms up. And now exhaling, you can try to fold forwards. So now we're coming off balance a bit. And then engaging your hands to your thighs and lifting the spine up. So we're again lifting in the same direction up, but just halfway. You can try to inhale here if you want to add breathing into your practice. And then exhaling, folding forwards. Now engaging both feet to the floor by inhaling, lifting all the way up again. And then exhaling, bringing your hands down. You can release your breath by exhaling longer a few times. That will calm the heartbeat down. And by engaging these two systems, creating a balance in the autonomic nervous system can strengthen what is called heart rate variability. And then we're having also an increased strength into this part of the nervous system that's very important for us to have a strength in order for us to be more resilient when we're feeling stressed. So it will be easier for us to calm down eventually when this is more in a balance and more in strength. Okay, so maybe 2 more times with this sun salutation if it felt okay. If we're adding the breathing, inhaling up and exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, creating that length. In your own time, exhaling, moving with gravity. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhaling the arms down. Maybe 1 more time. And returning to center. I invite you to place maybe 1 hand on the belly, 1 on the chest. The lower hand, perhaps the belly can relax under the hand. Maybe 2 more deep breaths here to lower the heartbeat again. And allowing the arms to come down. Okay, I will just demonstrate. The next movement exercise will be when I'm lifting my arms up and then leaning over to the side. Then coming up again, and when the arms are coming up shoulder level, I'm changing the side. So it's a bit of coordination. And by leaning to the sides, I'm coming away from this center point again, engaging the balance systems in the brain. So first of all, you can connect both body halves by connecting your hands towards the center line again. And then I'm reaching my arms out. And first over to this side, leaning. And you can lean as far as you can. Maybe you can lift one of the sit bones up. So you're really off balance. Just make sure you're not falling off the chair. And then I'm coming up and the arms come shoulder level, and then I'm leaning over to the other side. If you like, you can bring the gaze into this. So I'm looking down at 1 point at the floor, looking forwards, then shifting my gaze to 1 point on the floor on this side. Okay, 2 more times to each side. One more time. This is the last time. Maybe you want to lean far, or maybe you want to have both sit bones connected. And this time coming back into stability, both feet connected, both sit bones. Here you can try to lift the arms up again And this time folding forwards, and we're staying here in this forward fold. You can release your arms down and notice if you can release tension in your neck, maybe in your face, your belly. And again, you can exhale a bit longer here if you want to, again, engage the parasympathetic nervous system. So active, passive. And from the connection, from your feet, rolling up again. And the last thing that comes up now are the shoulders towards the ears, and then release, maybe shake your shoulders a bit. Okay, so the next movement tonight will be a traditional balancing posture, which is called the tree pose. Here we will bring many of the concepts together by engaging towards the center line, maybe focusing the eyes. And the eyes are very affected by the nervous system. So if we are feeling worried or anxious, the eyes will automatically move around more rapidly. And that is for us to stay alive, so it's a really healthy response. But we can calm down the nervous system slightly by focusing our gaze, and that can also help us with our physical balance. And the physical balance is different every day, depending on how we feel, both emotionally and mentally. And here it will become very clear how all of these systems are affecting each other. If you're choosing to sit on a chair, I will give you the option. So you can straighten out one leg and then place the ankle on top of the lower leg. And if you would like to add some balance to this, you can lean back on the chair and lean forward again, like rocking a little bit to engage this balance system. You can have the hands in front or up. So this is the seated variation. If you would like to stand up, you can stand beside your chair. The first pose we will come into is called Tadasana, or the mountain posture. And here I'm connecting both feet firmly first. And notice if you can connect to a sense of stability while you're standing here. And you can try to engage the legs in towards each other. It's almost like you're engaging towards a center line that's continuing through the spine, through the crown of the head. And here again, you can connect both body halves by pressing your hands together like this, noticing the connection between your hands. And now I'll show you the first option, where you can place the ankle towards the foot against your ankle. Continuing with this sense of center line, so this ankle is pressing slightly in towards the lower leg and opposite. One option here is to lift your foot up towards the calf or up towards the thigh. So depending on where you are today with your balance and how you would like to experiment. And feel free to hold on to the chair, and I will show you the first option where I have the foot down here, and I will place the other hand here as a reminder of this center line. So here we have many different systems that will be affected, especially the breath. So it's very common that we're holding our breath when we're in these types of challenges. So see now, especially when we're starting to struggle with the balance perhaps, can you still be breathing calmly through this challenge? And can this also symbolize when we're feeling off balance, when we're not practicing yoga? Can we slow down our breath and breathe through that challenge off the mat as well? So again, finding that standing foot, pressing firmly down and then lifting up through the spine, finding the center line. Perhaps your eyes are focused towards one point. And I will count us down, still breathing now, from 5, 4, you can let go of the chair if you want, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing that foot down, and if you can shake a little bit, maybe shake out your arms, your legs, and notice if you felt a bit off balance in your physical body, was that also affecting the way your mind was working? If you did, you can see if you can shake that off a little bit. And then you're welcome to come over to the other side. Okay, step by step. Feet connected. Maybe connecting towards the center line. Can we find a point of somewhat of a physical stability first with both feet? The two directions, so the earth quality and the more energetic quality up towards the ceiling. Then the eyes, maybe towards one point. And from that point, slowly starting, perhaps lifting your foot up towards the lower leg or the thigh. But notice that you can have your foot to the floor and just try to come up a few times. And the more you're kind of falling and coming up again, the more you're practicing this balance system. So falling is really good because then you have the chance to try again. Okay. And I'm lifting one hand up as a reminder. Maybe lifting up, and here you can try a few times. And I'm counting from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And maybe shake things off. Great, and then welcome back towards your chair. If you want to incorporate this balance pose in your everyday life, you will notice that the balance will be very different from day to day. Some days we will be very stable in our balance, and some days we will kind of fall off balance a little bit. And just notice what was it maybe that affected your balance, like the physical balance that day. And can we practice by bringing our bodies into balance? Would that also affect the mind? It's just an inquiry. Okay, so to returning to this seated position. The final short practice tonight, it's involving both sides of the body. And I'll show you. So here you can close one hand. If you want, you can engage the muscles of the arms and then release that hand. Then over to the other side. This is bringing the awareness again out into the body. So some of the women I work with have been using this practice when they're feeling off balance mentally and emotionally, and especially when maybe a panic attack is coming on. So they have also been adding the breath. So feel free to do that if you want. And we're slowing down the movements on purpose to perhaps also slowing down the breathing pace. So here I'm inhaling, closing this hand. The same hand, exhaling, releasing. Over to the other side, inhaling and exhaling. Almost like an equal length of each inhale and exhale. Okay, 2 more times if you want from this side to that. To the other side, final time with this side. Feeling in your hands, relaxing when you're exhaling. Over to the other side. Releasing. So engaging both hemispheres of the brain to create some balance in the activity there. Maybe one deep breath in the center, relaxing your hands. And then over from the left hand to the right, 3 times in your own time. 2 more times. And the final time. And relaxing both hands, connecting both feet. I invite you to notice that centered quality. Maybe from this week to next week, when you're starting to feel that you're losing this kind of quality of centering and balance, perhaps coming back to a few of the practices from this program and see if that would make any difference for you. Maybe this breathing exercise with the hands, or a sun salutation, maybe a balancing pose with your eyes fixed on one object, and perhaps also balancing the breathing. So we have so many systems that can possibly affect our sense of both centering and a sense of returning into this balance. So it's all an exploration, and it's all a practice, and it takes a long time to maybe tune into all of this that I've been talking about today. But I'm happy to be sharing a few of these practices that's been helpful for the people that I work with inside the prisons. So feel free to stay here for a little while, maybe connecting with the sense of gravity through your feet, your legs. So if you're ready to move on with your evening, I thank you so much, and I hope to see you dancing next week when we really explore a bit of Indian Bollywood style dancing. Okay, thank you very much.